Friends, welcome back. Welcome back to Techify tutorial. So, in this series of video, we are seeing that um, we are building a chatbot, right? And in the previous video, we have seen that what we are going to build, and we have also seen the demo of that chatbot. And basically, the last video we had this overview of the project that we are going to build in this series of video, right? From here onwards, we'll be more involved in the coding side, right? So from here onwards, we'll go to the IDE and we'll write code. We'll see what are all requirements that we should have before start of this project, right? So first here we have folder creation, right? So we have folder creation, right? So you go to ID, whatever ID you use, right? Here in this project, I have used Visual Studio. You could also use PyCharm or whatever in whichever ID you are comfortable. So there you have to go. You have to open the folder, right? Here you could see this type of interface. You could see when you open the your ID and you could click on the open folder. You could um, you could make a folder anywhere, right? Create new open folder, write something, give the name, you select this and you select open folder, right? You will be able to now redirect to this. So I have given the name Langchain. So if you give some other name, that name would be along with that name, this thing would be appear. I'm deleting this. So I'm removing this as of now. So here your folder name would be appear, right? So my folder name is Langchain, right? Whatever you want to give, you could give the name of your folder. This is how it looks, right? Okay. Now, now what you have to do is you have to set up your virtual environment, right? So next step is to set up your virtual environment. For that, what you do is you go to terminal, new terminal, and from here, what you do is you select command prompt. Okay, in my case, this it has been already set up this. So what I'll do is I will write on the deactivate. Yeah, deactivate. So and now, so now, here you could see that if you go to new terminal, you will see that you could have this kind of terminal, right? Here, what you have to write is you have to write this thing. You have to write conda create minus p vnb python 3.1 and yes. So the same thing you have to write here, right? And once you click enter, it will install the Python 3.1 and it will create a virtual environment with the name this VNB, right? So instead of VNB, could give any name. In general, everybody prefer to use this name virtual environment, right? So it is a short form of that, right? So here in this folder, you'll be able to see that this has been created. So once you enter this will create here. Now, once this is created, make sure that you have activated your virtual environment. So to activate it, what you do is you write conda activate your virtual environment name, that is BNB backslash. So once you enter this, now you see this, you are in your virtual environment, right? So first you have to do this setup. Okay. Second thing, once you are here, now second thing is that now if you see this, we have certain things like requirement.txt. So To create this requirement or text file, you should go to this and you go to this new file and write requirements.txt and press enter, right? Once you do this, right, you'll be able to see this kind of file. I have already created this requirement.txt and you'll be redirected to requirement.txt. Now in our project, we required this all re- this all libraries like Langchain, Python.env. This is not required, but Langchain community is required. Required. This is also not required. Langchain Groq is required. OpenAI is also not required because we haven't used, and these three are required. So you have to write all these requirements, and then we go here and don't forget to save it, right? So you save it. What you write this all libraries, all the requirement here, and then you go to your terminal and write pip install minus r requirements dot txt and press enter. Once you press enter, you will be you will be able to see that this all, this all libraries will be installed in your virtual environment, in your local machines, right? Once you have done your, you have done with your requirement setups, next is next thing is right. Next thing is you have to set up your .env file. Now, .env file is a file, and this you could create also in the same way you have created requirement.txt. So you go to file and write .env. You'll be able to create this kind of file. In this type of file, what you have is you should have your API key, right? So like in this project, we are using Groq, we are using HuggingFace. So we have the API key of Groq and HuggingFace, right? So now to get the API key of Groq and HuggingFace, what you do is to go here and search Groq API key, right? You go here. So so if you don't have your if you haven't log in or sign up on this platform, first you need to sign up, right? And then you go here, right? Now, Grog is a platform where several, if you check here, there are several language models are hosted, right? So basically, whatever the language model you could see here, like Gamma, Llama, Mistral, these kind of language models are there. So you could use this kind of model for your project, right? And how you could use this language model through the API key that you could generate from here. So it is simple. You have to create API key from here. You give the name any name, LLM or Zen AI, Zen AI, or maybe you could give LLM. Anything you give and you submit it here, you will be able to see that you could have this kind of um, API key. You copy this API key. Once you copy this API key, you have to place those API key over here. So you name Grog API and you have to paste it over here, right? So you should create your own like API key and you could paste it there. Next is your Hugging Face API key. So similarly, you could go to your Hugging Face, Hugging Face your Hugging Face platform. So here, if you haven't signed up, you need to sign up first, and then you go to settings. Once you go to setting, you could find here we have a option of access tokens. So you have to click on access tokens, and then here you have to click on create new tokens. And then you have token type like fine grain, read, write. Since we are using this, so we have to only read this. So you give the name as anything, you give the name as GenAI or anything, and you click on create token. So you'll be able to see that your tokens has been generated, and you copy that API key and you paste it in this folder, accordingly like this, right? Okay, so this is how you could use this. This is how you could get this API, and you could use that API key, and you could basically place that API key in that .env file. Basically, that file is hidden one, right? And since this Hugging Face and Groq is an open source libraries, or you could say open source platform, so this is not chargeable, right? So you could use your API key uh, for your models and for your embedding. So before going into the details, I would say that this Groq API key will be used to create your large language model, right? Like we said, like this chatbot requires language model, right? So we use this Groq API key for uh, assessing that language model. And also we have seen in the flow diagram that we also have to convert the text into some numbers or vectors. For that conversion, we use this Hugging Face API. So Hugging Face also has several open source models that we could use for the embeddings, right? So these two API key that would be required for our further processing, right? So once you have this, could say here, environment setup and .env file. Now you could make your Python file. How you could use? You write anything. You write chat dot, or you could write python.py. Let's say my folder name is python.py, and you click enter. So you'll have this interface where you could code your so you could start your project, right, from here onwards. So in my case, what I have done is I have written all the code in this chatbot.py. So in this for file, I have written all the code, right? We'll see the detailing of all the product, all these steps, right? Maybe in the next video, because this video was dedicated to app setup of all the things that is required. So you created your folder, you have set up your virtual environment. Then in the requirement.txt file, you have installed all the important libraries. And then you have also set up this env file where you have placed your Groq API key and Hugging Face API key, right? So you understood these two libraries, right? Basically, Groq is a platform, it's a company where it's a website where you have all the open source um, models, right? On all the free open source model. You could use API key of AI also, right? And that that OpenAI, if you have to use API key of OpenAI, you'll have to pay for that, right? So we're not going to pay anything for building this project, right? And but that I mean that language model of OpenAI, like you could see that GPT-4o is very powerful. So in that way, you could say that, and very fast also, right? So we could also use OpenAI for generating embeddings, right? So you could see that, and you'll see that it is super fast. But for that, you have to we'll have to pay some money, right? So in this video or in this project, we'll not say anything because we are using HuggingFace for embeddings and Groq for language model. So this is a free of cost. Okay, guys. So in the next video, we'll see what are these all codes, and we'll try to understand each and every line in details, and we'll try to make analogy with that flow diagram, right? So whatever we have seen um, in the first video, right? Whatever the flow chart we have seen, like how the chatbot works, how this RAG-based application works, so that we'll try to make it more clear from this code, right? So that's all about this video.